Before the war, there was peace, a fragile balance between kingdoms. Paris, Prince of Troy, young, impulsive, and driven by desire, sailed across the sea. He returned with Helen of Sparta, renowned as the most beautiful woman in the world and the wife of another king. To Paris, it was love. To Sparta, it was an unforgivable theft. Menelaus, king of Sparta, a ruler defined by honor, was stripped of his dignity. Bound by an ancient oath sworn to protect Helen's marriage, Menelaus called upon the kings of Greece. What began as a single betrayal became a war of many ambitions. Across the sea stood Troy, wealthy, proud, and unwilling to yield. Years passed. Honor remained unsatisfied. Victory remained distant. Troy stood unbroken, its walls high, its people defiant. Among the Greek commanders stood Odysseus, king of Ithaca, a warrior known less for strength than for his unmatched cunning. Where others saw failure, Odysseus saw opportunity. From his mind came an idea that would end a war and doom a city. Troy could not be taken by strength, so he chose deception. A wooden horse was conceived, large enough to inspire awe, hollow enough to hide death. Selected warriors climbed inside, men who accepted they might never return. The Greek fleet vanished into the horizon, leaving behind a gift and a story. The Trojans discovered the empty camp. And the horse standing alone. Sinon, a lesser Greek soldier, chosen not for strength but for his ability to lie, was left behind. Suspicion spread, but curiosity spread faster. Laocoon, priest of Poseidon, a man who trusted the gods more than appearances, raised his voice in warning. He spoke the truth, and the truth was punished. In myths, gods do not reward truth. They reward obedience to fate. They believed Laocoon had been punished for sacrilege, not for speaking the truth, so they dragged the horse into the city. When danger feels gone, people celebrate not survival, but certainly. Inside the wooden horse, elite Greek warriors waited in silence, men chosen by Odysseus, trained to kill without being seen. When the hatch opened, there was no turning back. The Trojan guards fell quietly, never knowing the war had returned. The gates of Troy were opened from within, not by force but by trust misplaced. Army poured into the city, a victory long delayed, now uncontrollable. Fire spread faster than orders. Civilians awoke to chaos, their faith in the walls shattered. In the streets, Greeks and Trojans clashed, soldiers fighting not for ideals but for survival. From above, Troy burned, a civilization erased in a single night. The palace was breached. King Priam, ruler of Troy, old and powerless, knelt where kings once stood. With Priam's death, Troy's past and future ended together. Statues of Hector, Troy's greatest defender, collapsed into the flames. Andromache and Hecuba, wives and mothers of Troy, were taken as spoils of war. Helen stood apart, watching the city fall, the woman for whom the war began now powerless to stop its end. Victory stripped the Greeks of restraint. Trojan warriors fell one by one, their courage no longer enough. By dawn, Troy was no longer a city, only ruins. The wooden horse, its purpose fulfilled, was left behind, empty and forgotten. Troy had fallen. The horse stood empty. Yet its purpose was complete, to teach how easily trust can be turned into a weapon. When the fire finally died, there were no victors left to celebrate. Only ruins and the quiet that follows certainty. Troy had stood for generations, its walls strong, its people proud, its future assumed to be secure. It did not fall to greater strength nor to superior numbers. It fell to an idea that felt harmless, a gift, a promise, a story that made fear unnecessary. They were not foolish, they were tired, and when people are tired, they accept the explanation that allows them to rest. Laocoon warned them, not as a prophet, but as a man who refused comfort over truth. His death was not proof that he was wrong. It was proof that silence had become useful. That night, Troy celebrated peace while danger waited quietly within its walls. By morning, a civilization was gone. The war ended, but the lesson did not, because the Trojan horse was never about wood or soldiers. It was about trust and how easily it can be shaped. Every age builds its own walls. Every age believes it is wiser than the last. And every age is tempted by something that arrives not as an enemy, but as reassurance. History does not repeat itself, but human choices do. Remember Troy, not for how it fought, not for how it fell. Remember it for the moment it opened its gates and welcomed what it did not question. Because the most dangerous threats are never forced upon us. They are invited,